Okay, in this presentation we are going to derive the variance of a negative binomial random variable. In the previous video where I've just left off here, we've computed the expected value of x, which is the mean, and that is equal to r times p over 1 minus p. Just to backtrack a bit, just to sort of go up here to the start, we've demonstrated or introduced the probability mass function of the negative binomial random variable. And just as a quick remark, we're dealing in terms of x, which is n is the number of trials and n equals x plus r, where x is the number of failures before r successes. Okay, so this is our probability mass function here. And essentially what we're going to do is use this the same way as we have done for the expected value of x. We are going to calculate that. Calculate the variance of x using that. So this is the starting point here. The variance of x equals the expected value of x squared minus the expected value of x to be squared. And we've already calculated the expected value of x. So what we're going to do here is calculate the expected value of x squared and then return to this variance formula above. Okay, so the expected value of x squared is the sum of the probability mass functions times terms times x squared. Okay, and this is using the probability mass function here. That's the sum of them there. Okay, well, actually, correctly, that's the probability mass function. That's the summation, and we have x squared there. Now, the support, which is to say each possible value of x, what we're going to do is partition it from 0 and 1 to infinity. Okay, so just to start off, it is actually 0 to infinity, but we're going to just partition it into two parts and have two different summations here. So the first part here is essentially if we evaluate the probability mass function for 0, we get just 0. Okay, I'm not going to go back over that because I've done it in the previous video, but just actually to remark, I've done this, used the same trick again. Okay, so here we have a summation, and the range of summation is x equals 1 to infinity. Okay, of the binomial coefficient of x plus r minus 1, choose r minus 1, times p to the power of x times 1 minus p to the power of r times x squared. So I'm going to express out or simplify out and come up with an expression of the binomial coefficient, and I have it here. Okay, so it's r plus 1 minus 1 factorial divided by r minus 1 factorial times x factorial. Okay, and what I'm going to do is actually sort of approach this the same way as I approached it for the expected value of x. I'm going to try and isolate some terms and bring them outside the expression here. So there's a good, I'm going to do this very patiently. Okay, so let's just actually look at x squared. So we have x squared here and x factorial here. Okay, so essentially x squared over x factorial can be rewritten as x over x minus 1 factorial. So that's where I go from here to here and or x squared here to that expression there. Okay, so that's the first part. So let's keep going at that. So I have p to the power of x, so that p to the power of x is p times p to the power of x minus 1. Okay, so I have p here and p to the power of x minus 1 here. Okay, r, where does r come from? Okay, 1 minus r minus 1 factorial, that is equal to r over r factorial. Okay, so that's where I go from here, r minus 1 factorial, to this r here and this r factorial here. And finally, let's go back here one more. We have 1 minus p to the power of r. That is 1 minus p to the power of r plus 1 over 1 minus p. Okay, so essentially there's a couple of transitions going from here to here, okay? But essentially I have accounted for them all. So I have this expression here, r times p over 1 minus p times this summation here. Summation from x equals 1 to infinity of x plus r minus 1 factorial over r factorial times x minus 1 factorial times p to the power of x minus 1 times 1 minus p times 1 minus p to the power of r plus 1 times x. Okay, just as a quick reminder that x is still there. Okay, so we're going to do this very similar trick to what we did when we computed the expected value of x. We're going to let s equals r plus 1 and w equals x minus 1. And just as a remark, that means x plus r becomes w plus s, and x equals w plus 1. Okay, so using that transformation, this is what we get. Or reusing those values there. Okay, so just as a remark, x becomes w plus 1. Okay, now, so the reevaluate, or just sort of simplifying the binomial coefficient, we can just use it using the common notation there. Okay, so that's a fairly quick transition. Okay, so this is a fairly chunky looking bit of work here now, but I have to, this is the key term here, this w plus 1. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually re-express the whole thing, and I'm going to use that w plus 1. I'm going to split it here, so I'm going to have one term multiplied by w, okay, which is this expression here, plus another term multiplied by 1. Okay, and I'm just going to separate it out basically into two expressions there. Okay, so that's the w and 1. Okay, now the first summation is the mean of the negative binomial random variable. Okay, and the second summation is the complete sum of the mass function. Okay, so just actually look at this expression here. Just something I remarked upon in the last video at the end was very important here. I just made this remark here at the end of the last video. Okay, we introduced this sort of dummy variable called w, and this is the mean of the dummy variable. Okay, so essentially what we were able to sort of emphasize here is this expression here can be written as follows using the derivation that we found in the last case. Okay, and this is actually equal to 1. Okay, that's just the sum of the probability mass functions add up to 1. Okay, so we have r times p over 1 minus p, which gives you that. This expression here is sp divided by 1 minus p, and this expression here is 1. So essentially what we end up with is this here. Okay, now just remember that s is equal to r plus 1. My pen is slipping here. I'm just going to pause for a second. Okay, so that's r plus 1. 1 is 1 minus p divided by 1 minus p. So essentially this expression here can be expressed as r times p over 1 plus rp over 1 minus p squared. Okay, so what we're going to do is insert these values into the original variance formula. Okay, rp times 1 plus rp and rp over over 1 minus p to be squared and rp over 1 minus p to be squared. Essentially, that works out as rp squared, rp plus rp squared minus rp squared. Okay, divided by 1 minus p squared. Okay, so essentially the whole thing simplifies out into that expression there. Okay, so what is the tricks here? The trick's actually very similar to what we've done in the last video when we calculated the expected value of x. In fact, really what we were doing is calculating the expected value of x squared, okay, and then using that to calculate the variance. So when we were calculating the expected value of x to be x squared, we were sort of using all the same tricks as we did the last time, but a key sort of milestone was actually picked up in the last video here. Okay, just sort of realizing that you were going to use this expression again very, very quickly. Okay, so that's why I sort of landmarked it at the end of the last video, that dummy negative binomial variable there. Okay, anyway, that's it. That's a lot of work done. That's deriving the variance of the negative binomial distribution.